presents Elimination Chamber Prep Kickoff.
Located.
So now let's get to the kickoff show. We had the panel of Sam Roberts, Megan Morant, and Peter Rosenberg. They were at WWE headquarters because they didn't want to be bothered to fly to Australia. They were too lazy for that. That's rude. And we had the commentary team for both shows of Corey Graves and Michael Cole. It was kind of cool but kind of weird because Corey Graves was back to like his heel behavior here, which is kind of weird because he's been like neutral on SmackDown, so that was just kind of weird. And then Byron Saxton was backstage. He was just kind of giving everybody updates about what's going to happen in Elimination Chamber, so that was kind of cool. It kicked off with a match. We actually had a match on the kickoff show. How's that? That never happens. It was the Kabuki Warriors defending the Women's Tag Team Championships against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. This was a good match. The heels got the heat on Candice LeRae for a while. They really got they really dominated her, prevented her from making the tag, and then eventually Indy Hartwell made the hot tag, and eventually went off on everybody. Then eventually, the Kabuki Warriors gained back control, and they did the reverse DDT elbow combination on her for the win. And the Kabuki Warriors retained the women's tag team titles. This was good. I gave it like 3 stars. I thought they could have done more with the match. I was also like, it was probably because too, like I had just woken up too, so like I was probably still tired. So that's probably why like I wasn't as into this as I would have been. But yeah, I thought this was a good match. I gave it 3 stars. What'd you think of this?
I thought it was a solid match. I gave it 2.5 stars. Like, I felt like. And I'm going to, like, it just felt to me like it was so obvious that Indy Hartwell wasn't winning.
Yeah.
But if they made it non-title and had them face the Kabuki Warriors, I felt like, okay, this is a little bit different now. Now it feels like they can win. But I was like, there's a 100% chance of losing this match. There's no way they're winning it.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, we had the opening elimination chamber match. It was the women's one where the winner was going to get a women's world championship match at WrestleMania 40. It was Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan versus Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi versus Raquel Rodriguez. This was a great chamber match. Becky Lynch and Naomi started the match, and you were just getting pissed all night because we'll just say this now. All of the tiebreakers you picked to happen, I think pretty much didn't happen, right? I think only like one happened, I think. And then like you would just get pissed the whole show. You're just like, damn it! Like you just kept losing points like left and right. Like you just felt your championship like slipping away and everything like that. It's just like we were just so mad about it too. Like we just like, come on. Like but yeah, Becky Lynch and Naomi.
But I knew I wasn't gonna win.
Yeah, but Becky Lynch and Naomi started the match. They went at it for a little bit. They kind of did like a lot of chain wrestling holds. They did a bit where Naomi did a really cool bit where she like went off the chamber and did like a splash to Becky Lynch, which was cool. But no one really got the advantage on the other. And then eventually, Tiffany Stratton was the next one in, and she used heel tactics pretty much to get the advantage on her opponents. She threw her into the chain link fence a couple of times. She suplexed Becky Lynch onto it roughly. And she did it like a double moonsault press, which was pretty cool. And then she went on the chamber and did like a double knees to both competitors. Eventually, she got thrown into the steel post, and Becky threw her into the pod, which was pretty cool stuff. And then the next entrance was, I believe it was Liv Morgan that was next. She kind of went off on everybody. She did this really cool thing where she went off the elimination chamber like pod and did like a like a big dive on everybody, which was cool. And eventually Naomi hit like a big cross body onto Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch. And then Tiffany Stratton like immediately rolled her up and eliminated her, which was to the surprise of Naomi. I really liked that elimination. It just really came out of nowhere and everything like that, which was just really cool stuff. And then Bianca Belair came out next. She went off on Becky Lynch. And at one point, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, and Bianca all worked together to take out Tiffany Stratton. Which kind of made sense because, she's been kind of trying to get everybody to, like, turn on each other and everything like that. So that was kind of what it was. It was just, she had a really good performance. She did a gorilla press slam and did, like, a one-handed one, sending Liv Morgan out to the chamber, floor. I mean, it's just mats now, but, it's still, just like, JBL doesn't know that it's, not steel anymore. I think he keeps forgetting because he always mentions that Umaga walked on it. Like, and it was like, okay, but it's not really that way anymore. So what are you talking about? Then like,
steel.
Huh?
It's steel.
Yeah, it's not steel anymore. And then
steel pad.
Raquel Rodriguez came in and started really going off on everybody. She looked really good in this match. Obviously, when I did the predictions, I was thinking she was going to be out first, because I wasn't sure, like, recovery-wise how she was from, like, the health issue that she had recently. But, she came in last, and, still looked really good in the match. She did a lot of really good power moves to everybody and everything like that. And then Tiffany Stratton hit a moonsault on Liv Morgan, eliminated... no, not Liv Morgan. That didn't happen. Sorry, that's my bad. That did not happen. So, scratch that. That didn't happen. But eventually everybody worked together to try to eliminate Raquel Rodriguez, since she was the biggest woman in the match. And Bianca hit the KOD on Raquel Rodriguez, which was really impressive. They teased it throughout the match, too, where, Bianca eliminated her with the KOD. And then afterwards, Becky, Liv, Tiffany, and Bianca went at it. And Bianca eliminated... Becky eliminated Tiffany with the... no, sorry, I'm getting it wrong. Liv Morgan eliminated Tiffany with the Oblivion, and this got the fans booed. Like, everyone was really hated on Liv Morgan here for this, because Tiffany Stratton was really over in Perth, Australia, which was just really interesting, because she just came to SmackDown recently. And we talked about this ahead of time, but, for some reason, there'll always be someone when they go internationally that'll be, like, really over just there, and then they won't be over, like, anywhere else. It was just really interesting how that happened. Eventually, that eliminated Tiffany Stratton, and then it came down to a triple threat, and then eventually Liv Morgan rolled up Bianca Belair, eliminated her, then immediately afterwards, Becky hit the manhandle slam onto Liv Morgan and eliminated her. And Becky Lynch was going to go on to WrestleMania now to face... Well, we didn't know at the time. It was either going to be Rio and Nia. But it was a really great chamber match. I give it 4.5 stars. I thought everybody looked really good in this match. Tiffany Stratton had a really great breakout performance here. And I just thought it was a great chamber match. How did you feel about this match and your star ratings to it and everything like that?
I think the match was great. Red Person won. I also give it 4.5. It was fantastic.
Then we had the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. It was Finn Balor and Damian Priest defending the belts against what's now known as the New Catch Republic. The name
Let's go, New Catch.
The name sucks. And they have new theme music now, which also sucks. It's really bad, and I really hate it. They were doing the introductions, and Dominic Mysterio did the introductions for the Judgment Day. So we also mentioned too, R-Truth kind of had a mess up. He went to Austria instead of Australia, which was hilarious. Knowing if you know the history between like Austria and everything like that, he shouldn't have even made that mistake. So R-Truth went to the one. He didn't go to the right place, so he was stuck in Austria. It would have been funny too if it would have been funny if they actually flew him to Austria just for this bit. Like that would have been hilarious. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time where R-Truth thought one place was the other. Don't forget, he called like didn't he call like Milwaukee like Green Bay by accident one time? Like that was just
Milwaukee.
And this is like the only good call that Michael Cole had as a heel. He says, R-Truth, we're not in Green Bay, we're in Milwaukee. Like it was hilarious. Like, But yeah, these things happen sometimes. How do you feel that Ozmuth went to Austria instead of Australia by accident?
Yeah, he's just confused.
And obviously, you can't go ask anybody like where the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is because they can't say Elimination Chamber in Austria for reasons you just need to look up. It was awesome. Like, how did he get this one? Oh, truth, buddy. Like, oh my gosh, no. Uh,
Poor guy.
Like, what did he do all day then? Did he just stay there? Like, did he just? How did he? Like. Did he just tell everyone like when he was flying to Austria, like, hey, I'm going to Elimination Chamber? Like the guy probably wasn't even like a wrestling fan. He was telling them like we're doing the Elimination Chamber. He's explaining it to them and everything like that. And he's just like, oh, cool and everything like that. And then he goes into Austria. How did this happen? Like,
He's a confused man.
Oh, and this isn't the end of our truth on this show. He's gonna get confused a little bit more. Is there ever going to be an episode where R2 is just not confused? Like, is there ever going to be that type of episode? Like, he just doesn't know what... He's always confused. He doesn't seem to know what's going on anymore. Like, I don't understand this, but...
He never does.
But yeah, that's why R-Truth couldn't interfere in this match, because he, like, wasn't there. He was in Austria, you know? Like, yeah. That happened.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He went to oh my, that's awesome. I know we have to move on, but I just can't move on.
Australia.
Say that again. You cut out a little bit.
He went to Australia.
That's awesome. Yeah. I wonder what everyone thought too. Like, did they think they would? Why did they? What was it? So what? I wonder what he even did. Then did he just go home afterwards? Like, what happened? Like, did he just leave? Like,
he just put his hands in his head and went, "Oh, rats," and then went home.
He wasted a ton of money on his plane ticket too. He had to go to Austria for no reason, pretty much. Like,
poor guy.
Do you feel bad for him?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I feel awful for him.
It's his own fault, though. Like, he should have known. Like,
he should have had a guide.
But yeah, going back to the match, Dominic Mysterio did the introduction for Judgment Day, and no one could really hear it, so he eventually, because he was getting booed so loud, so, like, eventually he had to cut off his introduction and everything like that. He just got pissed and couldn't finish an introduction. But yeah, this was a great match right here, very back and forth. New Catch Republic dominate Finn Balor throughout the beginning portion of it. I almost called Pete Dunne Prince Devitt. I almost did that. That was that. Like, but yeah, Pete Dunne.
This is Finn Balor.
But Pete Dunne, broke the fingers of Finn Balor. He like stomped on him and he did all types. I almost just said he did all types of weird stuff with them, but that makes it sound worse than what it is. So, but then eventually Judgment Day dominated. They dominated Tyler Bate for a while. They threw him into the barricade. They threw him into the post, and Balor and Priest just dominated. And then eventually Pete Dunne got the hot tag, and I almost keep meaning to call him British Sean style, but you can't do that anymore. It's New Catch Republic. To start really going off on him. Tyler Bate hits a really cool suicide dive on the outside, which was awesome. And then eventually New Catch Republic have the match won. They hit the double Tyler Driver 97, which they're going to probably change it to a stupid name. And Dominic Mysterio, put Finn Balor's Finn Balor's finger, not his finger, his foot on the ropes to cause a rope break. And Michael Cole got pissed about this. He was like fuming about this, and Dominic Mysterio was like taunting at him and everything like that, which was just absolutely awesome. And it caused Dom to get ejected from ringside. I almost said rejected from ringside. That would have been weird.
He got rejected.
I'm saying one. This is not going to be one of our finest shows. I'm getting shit wrong. I'm messing up people's names. I'm messing up words. I don't know what's going on. I was doing fine before we recorded, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, no, I don't know what's going on. But we're just gonna press on. But then eventually, he got rejected. No, he got rejected from ringside. No, ejected.
Ejected.
I said injected, rejected. It's ejected. We just don't know which one.
He got injected.
I don't even know what would that even be? Like, he got ejected from ringside, and he just didn't leave. He was just like, he was kind of making a case about it. It almost caused New Catch Republic to lose there, but it didn't happen. And then eventually, Damian Priest hit a South of Heaven onto Pete Dunne, and then Finn Balor hit the coup de grace onto Pete Dunne for the win. And Pete Dunne lost, and the New Catch Republic lost, and Judgment Day retained the tag titles. This was a great match, though. I give it 4 stars. They definitely had me on a couple of near falls with New Catch Republic, even though like I knew they weren't going to win. They definitely got me on a few occasions, so that was good. And this was great stuff. 4 stars. What do you think of this match? It was great.
I give it 4 stars too. It was an awesome match. Yeah, I agree. Just a great match. The best part was when a dipshit got ejected at ringside, and the crowd started to flip him off, so they had to make the screen go black.
Oh, that's why it went black.
Yeah, because they were flipping him off. That was the best part.
Then we had
after he was injected.
Yeah. I think the best part, honestly, was because it's on WWE's Instagram page now. You could like see him doing it in real time. Was Michael Cole just flipping out at Dominic Mysterio like after that happened, and like Dom's taunt to him and everything like that. Because Michael Cole doesn't get to see Dom anymore. He doesn't get to like rip into him really anymore. So he wants to get it out as much as he can. But yeah, continuing with the breakdown, we had the Grayson Waller. It's supposed to say effect, but in my notes it says event. It's the Grayson Waller event with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. I guess it's not the effect anymore. It's just an event. So
it's the event, the Grayson Waller event.
But yeah, Austin Theory comes out and he just basically trashes Australia, like trashes their food and trashes everything about them pretty much. And then Grayson Waller comes out. He gets a great babyface pop. He does a shoey with that like UFC fighter that I talked about earlier. But again, that person didn't start it. Grayson Waller just made it cool. He may have started it, but Grayson Waller's the one that got it off the ground, okay? Yeah, Grayson Waller talks about how happy he is to be home, and he does a Aussie chant. And he introduces Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I think it was Seth that came out first, then Cody, and everyone was like singing Cody's theme song, which was awesome. And Seth gave some exclusive news that basically he's going to be cleared to wrestle, in like a few weeks, which is true. So it's good that we got on the Grayson Waller effect. It's kind of weird though because they haven't said that he's injured on screen, so it's just like that's kind of like stuff that like only the hardcore fans really know. So it's kind of weird that like he hasn't talked about his injury on camera. So it's kind of weird that they mentioned that, but whatever. And then
like ever since it happened too, it's like he kind of talked about it, and then he hasn't talked about it in a long time.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird that it was brought up, but like I know about it, so like it didn't really affect me. But it's weird, like if you didn't know about the injury, you'd be like, "Oh wait, he's hurt." Like you'd be like, "What?" Like,
yeah.
And then Cody then talked about he was about to reveal the conversation that him and The Rock had, which kind of caused Cody to almost give The Rock his WrestleMania spot, and Cody he doesn't just he didn't reveal it though. Instead he challenges The Rock to a match. He didn't really say when. He just says he was challenging him to a match. And Grayson Waller's all happy. He's getting like these big exclusives and everything like that. And then Seth basically tells Cody that like if you fight this battle, you can't fight this battle alone. You're gonna have the bloodline with you, so you're gonna have someone, behind you for this battle. And then Austin Theory starts like not mocking The Rock, but doing all his catchphrases and everything like that. And Cody and Seth are like egging him on and everything like that. And then eventually, Seth lays out Grayson Waller with the stomp, and Cody lays him out with the crossroads, and Grayson Waller just watches all of this happen. He doesn't do anything to step in or anything like that. I think at one point too, he even like lets Seth hit the stomp on Theory. Like he steps in to and it starts mouthing off at him, but then he just allows Seth to lay him out with the stomp and everything like that. So that was pretty cool.
Does. He kind of moves out of the way.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's gonna lead to a turn or anything like that, because they do play up to it a little bit on Raw, which you'll talk about. But I think it was kind of cool because it was a way for Grayson Waller to stay like his heel character, but like also stay a babyface, because obviously everybody would have liked him, so that was good. I would say probably other than Cody, Grayson Waller, and maybe other than Seth, I think Grayson Waller got the biggest reaction of the night. But yeah, this was a really good segment. I really liked it a lot. We got some good news breaking events. I was a little disappointed with it because I thought they were gonna pull a Hail Mary and find, because the Rock did an Instagram video where he mentioned that he would be there if anyone talks trash about him. So I kind of thought they snuck him over there somehow and everything like that. So I thought that would have been cool, but it didn't happen. But it was still good stuff, and I always, enjoy seeing Cody. You can't go wrong with that. And I obviously enjoyed seeing Austin Theory get his ass kicked and Grayson Waller just doing nothing about it. It was really funny. What do you think of this? I thought this was a good segment right here.
Wonderful, amazing.
There you go.
Incredible.
Then we had the men's Elimination Chamber match for a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 40. It was Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley versus LA Knight versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul. Bobby Lashley was coming in with a taped up arm because on Smack, I typically wouldn't talk about this, but since we didn't review SmackDown, I'll just mention it because Karrion Kross injured it on SmackDown, so he was coming in with an injury here. Which is funny because my uncle watched this pay-per-view and he noticed that most of the time, anytime Bobby Lashley has come into a chamber match, he's been injured or something like that. Or he's had an injury angle done to him, which is just hilarious that happened to him every time. Well, technically one of them wasn't an angle. One of them was a legit injury, but it's just funny how that's happened to Bobby Lashley every time he's been in the chamber match, which is just kind of funny. But it's yeah, Kevin Owens came out and did his entrance. I should mention, too, by the way they had the chamber, laid out this time, was, they would, show the competitors in their pods, and you could, see cameras in there, and you could, hear the mic, they were all mic'd up and everything like that. I mean, it wasn't mic'd up levels of, the Thunderdome one, because obviously there was a crowd, so we could, we wouldn't be able to hear them, but it was still cool that they happened. But throughout the match, they would show them in their pods and everything like that, which is kind of cool. That's one of the good new features of this chamber, because I don't think you could do what they do technology wise in the other chamber versus this chamber, because I think they can
definitely not.
Yeah, they can put cameras in there and everything like that. There's a funny bit where Logan Paul is making his entrance and he's mouthing off to Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens just starts bashing his head onto the pod and everything like that. It's whoa.
That was insane.
Because he just wants to get at Logan Paul that badly and everything like that. It was really hilarious. But Drew and LA Knight started the chamber. I figured Drew would, but I was kind of surprised LA Knight started the chamber. But it kind of worked out, I thought. And they kind of start going at it a little bit. I was kind of disappointed. There's been no references that they were in a faction together or anything like that. I kind of thought they would at least make a reference to it and all that type of stuff, but they haven't. But yeah, no one really gets the advantage on the other. Eventually, they both do a double down spot, and the next entrant comes in, and it's Bobby Lashley, which was kind of predictable that was going to happen. I kind of figured he was going to be coming in next. And he starts taking out everybody, just starts dominating everybody, just really working like a machine, just destroying everybody. Eventually, they do a triple down spot, and then Kevin Owens comes in, and he starts, going off on everybody. He hits a cannonball while one of them's against the chamber fence. He just starts destroying everybody. He hits a senton, I think, at the same time. He's doing a backpack chin breaker or something like that, which is cool. And then Randy Orton comes in, and he starts going off on everybody. Eventually, he doesn't really, do too much. He hits a Draper DDT on a Kevin Owens onto the chamber length floor. And Randy Orton starts selling his back and everything like that, because his back hurts. And it was to the point where I think he even said in the chat, we're not really sure if he's just really good at selling or his back's legitimately hurt because he just had he just came back from a back injury and he was kind of selling it
that was crazy.
Yeah, but
his sell was superb.
Yeah. And then Logan Paul comes in and Kevin Owens just immediately attacks Logan Paul. And doing this too, I noticed, and they showed it on Instagram and TikTok and things like that. Logan Paul had like a Sharpie in his pocket, and he was just drawing like a bunch of random stuff on his chamber pod, which was really hilarious. But everybody hated Logan Paul here. But Kevin Owens just destroys Logan Paul, just absolutely murders him. Like he locks himself into his pod and just starts beating the crap out of
him.
Yeah, it was bad.
Amazing.
Another thing, this felt like stiff too. Like this felt like he was like legitimately like beating the shit out of him and everything.
He was bashing his head off on both sides of the pod.
And it wasn't like
the door in the front of the pod.
And and it wasn't like typically like
it was a fucking basketball.
Yeah, and it wasn't like too like whether they typically bash opponents across the pod. Like he did it. He didn't take a break. Like he did it back and forth for like 10 minutes straight and everything like that. And then eventually, he throws him through one of the other pods. And then Bobby Lashley at one point spears Kevin Owens through a pod after Kevin Owens has already thrown him through that. And eventually, I think it's what I'm trying to remember because I remember Lashley's out first, which I predicted. But I'm trying to remember. I think he got out by LA Knight with Drew eliminated him with the Claymore kick.
Claymore. It was the second Claymore.
Yeah, because I think he had LA Knight in the full Lashley. I think it's the Hurt Lock. No, it's not it's the Hurt Lock now. And then Drew laid him out with the Claymore, and then LA Knight got on a roll, and he was about to eliminate somebody. But then AJ Styles just bashed him right off the back with a chair and just starts destroying LA Knight with this chair. He hits a Styles Clash on him onto the chair, and Drew takes advantage and covers him. I like that elimination. I just like it. I just think it's awesome that like AJ Styles just flew all the way to Australia because everyone's been pointing this out. He flew all the way to Australia just to screw over LA Knight. Like that's a great heel right there. Just to fly all the way to Australia. Just so that way he could screw over LA Knight. I thought that was hilarious.
Dedication to the craft.
Yeah. But I like that though because that sets up like their WrestleMania match. And I think that protects LA Knight because like he was never gonna win this chamber. So I like the fact that he got out. And I didn't think he was gonna make the final two. So I like the fact that like he got screwed over here. So like I think that's gonna set up the WrestleMania match pretty well. But we can kind of talk about this because what happens at the end, there might be like something else that happens at WrestleMania. So we'll talk about it at the end. Or maybe we won't. Maybe I won't let you. Maybe I'll just cut you off every chance you get. But yeah, then the match continues. It breaks down to a 4-way. And Logan Paul, by the way, is just kind of trying to get in there, but he keeps getting like taken out and everything like that, which was funny. Eventually, KO lays him out with a stunner at one point, and then Randy Orton lays out Drew with an RKO and eliminates him. Not Drew, Kevin Owens with an RKO. And then it's down to Randy Orton, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre. And then Logan Paul reaches for the brass knuckles, like he's going to use them and everything like that. But Randy Orton comes up from out of nowhere and lays him out with an RKO and eliminates him, which was cool. And then it's down to Randy and Drew. Randy hits the RKO on Drew McIntyre. And Logan Paul comes in and hits, Randy Orton with the brass knuckles, and Drew covers him for the win, and Drew wins the Elimination Chamber. And, I really like this because, Drew's whole thing, and it ties into his promo on Raw, where, like, he's been sick and tired of being screwed over, now he's, like, taking these advantages to, basically taking any win that he can get. So this makes this really adds to his character and everything like that. But I didn't expect the Logan Paul part of it. I really like this because that could set up a really interesting match between Logan Paul and Randy Orton at WrestleMania, which I'm all down for. But yeah, I thought this chamber match was great. I give it 4 3/4 stars. It was a great chamber. What do you think of this?
I give it 4 3/4 too. I thought it was fantastic. What really sold it for me too is Randy just selling the fucking back.
Yeah, insane.
There were times where he made it look so legitimate that everyone thought that he was hurt.
Yep.
that he had hurt his back again. Which again, like Randy's always been an excellent seller, and part of me was like, this is definitely him selling. And then and then when he popped back up again to do I forget what it was, to do the power slam, and it was like I was like, oh, see, it's a work, and then he like crumpled back down again. I was like, ooh, maybe it's not. I was
Yep.
like, oh, maybe it's not then. But that was like it, and he made everything seem like it really hurt. Like
Yep.
every move hurt. Like he would say, like he took the spine buster from Drew, and he was down for a while. And I was extremely impressed with Randy in this match. He got over big sympathy wise too. Also,
Yeah, definitely. Um, and yeah, we talked about like the U.S. title picture. Um, they could do like Logan Paul versus Randy Orton, for the U.S. title now. But then you still have the issue. You have to still wrap up his feud with Kevin Owens because that's still like has a ways away and everything like that. So maybe they're gonna throw in a lot of people predicting ladder match. A big ladder match at WrestleMania for the U.S. title. Throw in LA Knight, AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, and Karrion Kross. Since he's in the feud with Bobby Lashley at the moment. Um, yeah, I don't know if I want to see that because I don't know if I want to see like most of those guys just wasted in a ladder match. I would kind of rather see like AJ and LA Knight have a match at WrestleMania. Randy and Drew have a match at WrestleMania. Maybe I don't know what you do with KO then. It kind of leaves him out of the picture. A lot of people are predicting like Logan Paul can face KO on SmackDown for the belt, and Randy Orton screws him over out of the belt, so that way KO can defend the belt in the match. Because a lot of people would be worried about Logan Paul's performance. Because if you remember, he he kind of made the men's Money in the Bank ladder match a little clunky last year. So like a lot of people are predicting, that that could happen. But there's a lot of paths you can take, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Maybe they're gonna do some on SmackDown where LA Knight just faces KO, and someone screws over KO, and then they still do LA Knight versus one for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. What do you think's gonna happen? What do you think's going on with the U.S. title picture and everything like that since this happened?
I think it's Randy and Logan for the U.S. title at Mania, and LA Knight versus AJ, and then or LA Knight versus AJ versus KO in a triple threat match.
Yeah, I don't know, but
You could do that
yeah, you could put something on
because
the
that
line.
you could do that, but or you could have it be a triple threat match between KO, Randy, and Logan for the U.S. title at WrestleMania.
I wouldn't mind that either. Yeah. But we'll have to.
There's a few different ways.
Yeah. So we have to wait and see what happens. Then Triple H comes out to do his promo. He announces the attendance record pretty much for Elimination Chamber. I think he said it was like it was a lot of people. It was like what 58,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
So
53, something like that.
yeah, good.
53,800, I think.
Yeah, so good numbers right there. And yeah, just nice little segment right there. He's just a nice guy. What do you think of this?
Oh, that's Book of the Year, Paul Levesque, by the way.
He didn't mention it at all though.
That's Company of the Year.
Best promotion, yeah.
WWE Promotion of the Year.
There you go.
An executive it was on hand too, also.
Yeah, there you go. Then we had the Women's World Championship match. It was Rhea Ripley defending against Nia Jax. Not good. It was really bad. Just it was pretty much the typical by the numbers match where Nia dominated throughout, and then Rhea kind of did like a big comeback and won. She just hit the Riptide on Nia and just won. That was it. It was really not good. The crowd was not into this match at all, which wasn't good because obviously Rhea's the hometown person. So like, yeah, it was really bad for her. And I think just everyone knew that there was no chance that Nia had of winning this match, except Steve Coakley. He thought Nia Jax was winning this match for some reason. Yeah, this was just bad. I give it one.
Gotta be different.
Yeah, this is bad. I gave it 1 star. This was a terrible women's title match. And it was just terrible. What do you think of this?
1. A 1 star is being generous. This match was slow, boring, and uninteresting. I don't want to see Nia Jax in a title picture ever again.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really she is just awful, and it brought the whole fucking match down. They did a few spots where she kicked out of the Annihilator, and the crowd like barely even made a sound.
Yeah.
She had her big babyface fire up before doing the frog splash, and the crowd went yay, and it was done for like it was done half a second later.
Yeah.
They went right back to sitting on their hands again. Yeah, the crowd really just destroyed this match. I mean, it's a typical Nia Jax match, but it would have been higher on my rating scale had the crowd been more into it. I think the crowd being like out of it for 95% of the match really hurt this match.
And I think it had to do with oh, go ahead.
Just the card placement was really odd because the main event shouldn't be overshadowed. And the main event was badly overshadowed by that men's Money in the Bank match.
Elimination Chamber match.
It took everyone completely out. Yeah, Elimination Chamber match. It took everyone completely out of it. And for her to come home, for Rhea to come home like that, and just the crowd not to give a rat's ass about the match. Considering the fact that when she came up for the press conference, it was thunderous.
Yeah, definitely.
And by the time that she got to the ring, the crowd had already died down.
Yeah, they probably
should. It was like.
Yeah, they probably should have put this match like, maybe after, the women's chamber match, or if you don't want to do two women's matches in a row, because I know that would be kind of weird. Maybe I was gonna say after the tag title match.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. I was gonna say after the Grayson Waller effect.
Tag title. You did the tag title, then that.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to put this after like the Grayson Waller effect, because I feel like the crowd would be kind of burnt out because they would have been cheering for Cody, and like it would have been a bad spot on the show. So I say like, do the tag title match, then the women's match, then the Grayson Waller effect, and then the men's chamber match.
Yeah.
I felt like they had the mentality because Rhea was like a big star and everything like that. They thought, she would get like a thunderous ovation, but it just didn't really work out that way. It felt like they kind of took like the Sami Zayn approach, but I think the difference is the storyline also with Sami Zayn was like better in that match, because like even though you knew Sami wasn't winning, there was like a little bit of doubt and like a little bit of, there was enough story there where like Sami could have won and everything like that too. I know it's a different thing because Rhea actually won in her hometown and everything like that, but like there was no chance Rhea was not winning this match, is what I'm trying to say.
No, not a chance.
Like with
and to add a little bit more juice to it too, they should have announced Nia from Australia.
Yeah,
I feel like they missed an opportunity to get, even though, because she is Australian. She was born in Australia, lived a little bit of her life in Australia, moved to Hawaii, and then by the time she was like 10 or 12, that her and her family had moved to San Francisco.
Yeah, so it's just interesting how that stuff happens sometimes. And then we had the bump. I'll just cover that real quick. The host of that was Sam Roberts, Matt Camp, and Ryan Popola. They didn't do any special like predictions or anything like that, though. They weren't doing any of that this time. They didn't really mention it or anything like that, so I don't know what happened. I guess they just forgot. We didn't forget, though. We did predictions, so I don't know why they forgot. Rhea Ripley did like...
Because they're losing.
Yeah. I think because Megan Morant keeps losing. She always lost the predictions. I think she...
Just do a temper tantrum and then say, we're not doing this anymore.
That'd be hilarious. Just like, yeah, we're done with this. We're not doing this anymore. Like, done.
We are fucking done.
They're always too bad till they do punishments every time. They never do the punishments. They're like, oh, watch the next episode of The Bump. You'll see the punishments. And then they just never do the punishments. They just forget. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, I know we were kind of bad about that sometimes, but like, You know, they were worse.
We made up for it.
Yeah, we made up for it. They didn't make up for anything. But anyhow, yeah. So then Rhea Ripley